little bit about salting your skins. Biggest question we have is what type of salt to use. It's called hay and stock salt. This is 99% pure. In other words, this is going to be a white salt. Commonly referred to as distilled salt, but it's non-iodized. For taxidermy and skin preservation purposes, always try to use hay and stock salt. It's American Stockman. They have Morton, several other manufacturers throughout the United States. Not a lot of them, but there's several of them. Show you what this salt looks like. First of all, I like to go ahead and put the salt in 5-gallon buckets. It's easier to tote around, protects it from the elements, etc. Get a close-up of this here. This is all 99% pure salt. It's white salt. It's not rock salt. Rock salt is too coarse. It's the wrong type of salt. Any salt that you use, again, non-iodized, must be able to penetrate into the skin. Before you salt any skin, hide, or cape, all of the flesh and meat and fat must be taken off of the skin. The salt will penetrate a little bit, but it won't penetrate fat. But it'll penetrate just a little bit of meat. Doesn't have to be perfectly fleshed, but it's always good to get as much off as you can. Again, now this is the type of salt too, the 99% pure approximately, type of salt that we would use in the taxidermy tanning side of the business, where we would go ahead and make up acid pickles, tanning solutions, etc., etc. This is the type of salt that's preferable. Now, there's another type of salt. Let me get the bucket over here. This is also called hay and stock salt, but this is only about 95% pure. I even called the manufacturer on this. This is what salt looks like when you actually mine it from a mine. You take it out of the ground. And I asked the guy, the head of the company, mining company, I said, well, hey, if it's only 95% pure, what's the other 5%? And he hem-hogged around a little bit. He said, well, it was a mineral this, mineral that. And he goes, sir, it's basically dirt, soil. I said, well, okay. I said, what about all this white salt we've been using for years and years? It's 99% pure. That's when he gave me a whole history of salt and how that is distilled salt, comes up, it's run through a process. This here is the salt that you actually mine from the earth, from a deep mine. You can go ahead and use this, not a problem. It may discolor the leather a little bit and may make your pickle solution a little bit dirty, but it'll still be clean enough to go ahead and accomplish the feats of a taxidermist. But that's for a more detailed discussion and procedure. So, this salt was on sale recently, $2.99 at Big R. That's what we got. The 99% pure salt, American Stockman variety, manufacturer over there, that we got, that's usually about $5, $6 a bag. Currently, September 2009. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this 95% pure salt, although I do prefer to use the white salt, the pure salt, but I can save that for the actual pickle solutions and other things. This here is a lot more economically feasible for the taxidermists. We ourselves go through about 2,000 pounds of salt per year. So, you're up in the woods, wherever it is you're at, you skin out your animal, you flesh it down, you clean it up. What that means again is you take off most of the fat, well, you take off all the fat, most of the big chunks of meat and things like that. Turn the ears inside out. That's for a different video. I show you how to do that. Turn the nose. Split the lips, roll them out. You can see there's a little bit of meat here. That's okay. Excuse me. Didn't want to bring my hand up my mouth. Okay. Now, you're out in the woods. You just took this off a deer. It'd be a little bit bloody. What you'd have to do is put it on a sloped surface so all the fluids that drain, that the salt collects and pools out of the skin, so it drains off of the hide. You don't want it to pool and collect, because there you have hair slippage. So what I'm going to do here is pour salt on. Usually 1 pound of salt per pound of clean fleshed skin. That's usually the ratio. But you can never over salt. Salt as much as you can. Put this salt in. Again, this is a little bit strange. I'm used to using the white salt. But this salt works fine. It's more economical. If you go through a lot of salt like we do, you always buy quality supplies, but you also, too, you buy the economical ones that work. As far as chemicals go, you buy the best there is. Now, usually wait 24 hours, or even sooner if the salt pulls out the moisture. That's one part of the tanning process, preservation process. What it does, it pulls the moisture out of the skin and locks the skin around the hair follicles. That's very important. So you want to make sure there's plenty of salt all over. Again, non-iodized salt. £50 bag, $2.99. Does the same thing that a $6 bag of salt will. Which one are you going to use? Which one makes sense? For purposes of just giving you an idea, big difference in color, isn't it? The white and gray. And since this is refined, it's a little bit finer grind. Never use rock salt. Whenever you store these skins, you're out in the field, can't come in for a couple days, never put them in the sun. Never just hang them up without treating them, because then they'll air dry and rehydration is going to be difficult. It can still be done. But to properly take care of your trophy, whatever it may mean to you or anyone else or to your client, if you guide, it's important that you do the job correctly. You have to flesh it down. You can't let it lay around. You have to do this immediately. Once it's salted, you can go ahead and hang it up. Put it in a burlap bag. You can hang it up in the shade so the air will circulate it around it. It's very important, especially if you're hunting in early season, you bow hunters, or if you're hunting on the African continent, even down in Texas, right where it gets real hot. It's hot all the time almost. You have to do this right away. You can't leave things sit around. Even if you're up in Canada, Alaska, what have you, once the animal's down, take care of your trophy right away. Obey the laws, tag it, eviscerate it, field dress it, and then get busy skinning. Skinning will be a different tape. But anyway, this is what you do as far as salt goes. Where do you buy this salt? You buy this salt Farmers and Ranchers Supply, feed stores. You may even have a salt mill that real close to you. Search around, get out your telephone book, get on the internet, look for feed stores, feed places, Farm and Ranch Supply, anything like that. Some people even buy it at a local food supply outlet. But hay and stock salt, that's what you need right here. Carry as much as you can.